All right, y'all. I'm gonna back up into the shade. I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. So, thank y'all so much for having me up here. I am James Russell.
Turn it up.
Feedback on it.
Can you turn it up?
Oh, you want it louder?
Yeah.
All right. I'll make sure I don't feedback on it. All right. We'll get the sunburn. It's fine. My name is James Russell. I am running for Congress in the 4th Congressional District. So, anybody that came up here from Newton County? There we go. Okay. That's what we're talking about. I came up here because Debbie asked me to. I've got a long history. I ran for governor back in 21, 22, and I was up here all the time helping out with Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, Allied Pride events. So, hearing that we needed help in Harrison, I was like, yeah, bet, I'm there. And y'all, on behalf of candidates as a whole, I wanted to apologize to y'all because we had people that were supposed to show up today, and I will watch my mouth because there are children around, but I'm not happy with the fact that they decided to change their plans at the last second. In a state where we have historically low voter turnout, deciding to not show up and support and show up to things that you were committed for seems like exactly the opposite message that we need to be pushing. So that's why, for those of you that don't know, I'm here. I was in Malvern immediately before this and still made it up here. So I'm not real big on excuses flying for not showing up when you're committed. But I am running for federal office, and if we were going to discuss all the issues facing us at the federal level, we would be here until Election Day, because where do you even
Nobody
begin?
took mine, did they?
We've got so many we have to deal with. The big ones for me, for anybody that doesn't
if you
know,
leave
my
me a couple of
biggest issue is,
extras,
one, I'm a major
I
advocate
can
for
probably.
universal health care.
Did you see Paul might want one? Paul Barron in that yellow T-shirt.
It is such a complicated concept that only every other development on the planet hasn't figured out. We just seem to not be able to. Give me a break. It's not that we can't, it's that we won't. It's because we don't have the political will to. But we were absolutely fine with blowing up the deficit and sending a bunch of ICE agents out in masks and blow up the budget by $5 trillion to put a secret police force on the streets. That could have gone towards improving the immigration system. That could have gone towards the healthcare system. That could have gone towards fixing food insecurity for our children. Every bomb that we're dropping overseas that's causing even more unrest and creating more extremists is another thing that could have been invested here at home. And we have people that are unwilling to bring those issues up in the national debate. Now, I don't know if it's cowardice or if it's ignorance, but we have to replace it. We cannot simply continue. Yes, we're very impressed. Vroom, vroom. We can't just continue allowing it to be the status quo and maintain and lose our civil liberties piece by piece. We can't. We have to have people in office willing to stand up, willing to fight, willing to have the difficult discussions. I will borrow from Dr. Terry, as she is so fond of saying, you cannot fix the problem if you are not first willing to diagnose the problem. And to do that, you have to be willing to have an honest discussion, an honest assessment of what's going on. So, I really don't know what else to say out here. Other than, I'll give you some of the other stuff, because I mentioned healthcare. Now, the reason for that, I guess I got to give background on stuff. I keep forgetting. So for those who don't know, I have 25 years experience. That's what I've been doing. I've been either in or adjacent to the healthcare industry for the past 25 years. Started out doing physician credentialing for the state medical board. From there, went over to Children's Hospital, was a medical staff coordinator. That got me involved in all the executive committees, and the one that caught my interest was bioethics. Anybody not familiar with that? That's where science and law run headfirst into each other and figure out they don't speak the same language. And I've got a talent for that, is taking two separate things and helping them make sense of one another. So I thought, well, that's what I'll go do. So I went back into college, did a joint pre-med, pre-law program, and while I was in the middle of it, my wife beat me to the punch. She finished up her master's degree in psychology. So suddenly I had to figure out how to run a business. And so for the past 12 years, we have been running an outpatient mental health clinic, serving the entire state through telehealth. So that's why healthcare matters to me, is I've been in and around it, and I've seen the inherent flaws that our for-profit model have created through the insurance companies and through having to go through third-party agencies and approvals and keeping things in limbo when people's lives are on the line. And treating it like you're worried more about shareholder value than you are the actual outcome of a person's life. Along with that, I am a member of a group called BACK, is Bring Accountability to Congress. It is a group of legislative candidates from across the country. I was the first signatory member here in Arkansas. I was fortunate enough to get my fellow candidates on board as well. And it is based on 5 basic principles. One is we're dedicated to overturning Citizens United. Getting major corporate money out of politics. It's ridiculous. Now, anybody, I don't know how your math skills are. This is what I always use for an example. Elon Musk in the last election cycle, he spent $264 million of his own money to influence the outcome of that with advertising and spending and illegal schemes in Wisconsin that they're finally figuring out they can bring him to court for. But he spent $264 million. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but as a percentage of his total net worth, that's 0.67%. That would be like any of us having $1,000 and deciding to throw 67 cents at it. Well, you wouldn't think twice about it. You'd make that up the next day. And he did, and more so, before becoming the first trillionaire until his stock prices tanked shortly after. But what kind of country is it when we allow that while we're allowing children to go uninsured? When that can go on and we've got people in office enriching themselves instead of serving the public the way they're supposed to. So it's getting the money out of politics. One of the other big things with that, judicial ethic review. We've got Supreme Court justices that refuse to recuse themselves from cases where they have a vested monetary interest. They're not reporting when they have a conflict. They don't report when they actually have someone that's benefiting them financially. We have to actually have that oversight. Not to mention the fact that we've got Congress that has simply abdicated their authority as one of the checks and balances in our system, and they have simply handed all of their authority over to the executive. That's not how it's supposed to function. Anybody notice gas prices constantly in flux all the time, and all the grocery prices and the trade wars? Does anybody remember that that's actually the job of Congress to set tariffs? That's not a mechanism that the president is supposed to have control over?
Yep, we know that.
But they just decided, nah, we're just going to let him do it. That's not how it works. It's supposed to be a check and balance system. So one of the other big things that we do push forward back, and this one's the long shot, I always say it for last, we are trying to push for term limits. And that is going to require, thank you, that is going to require a constitutional amendment to put that in place. But, as anybody knows, you don't get what you don't ask for. So at the bare minimum, if we start pushing, if we start that discussion, we start showing people why it's important. We have the ultimate in demonstrations of why this matters with a gentleman named Mitch McConnell right now. He's been in power literally for as long as I've been aware of politics. Does anybody need to have control over someone else's life for that period of time, for that many decades? Do they need to be influencing the decisions that impact your daily life every single day and benefiting from it on their end? Do they need to be manipulating judicial appointments through the Senate to fit their agenda instead of upholding the Constitution and the responsibilities to the office to which they were elected? No, they got to get it out. They got to get out. Now, and they're always saying, we've got a term limit that's called voting. Yeah, but when you end up with these people that it's acting like a political dynasty, I'm sorry, You're replicating a monarchy, you're replicating an oligarchy, and that's not what we're about. We are a constitutional republic operating as a democracy. We have to get back to following the rules. So, I don't want to keep you out in the heat any longer. I don't want to be out in the sun any longer. I always welcome any questions. I'm always happy to show up. Y'all, please, I've got rap cards, I've got business cards. They all have my cell number on it. I try to be the easiest politician in the world to get a hold of. You literally, Debbie will attest, all you gotta do is send me a text and you get one back. There's no PR, there's no staff, there's no vetting anything. There is, you got a question about something? Well, let's talk. Because that's how it needs to be. And we need politicians that are willing to say that, you know, if you've got a question, they need the humility to say, you know what, that's a good one. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Because you're not supposed to have all the answers. But you're supposed to be willing to engage in the discussion to find an answer that's mutually beneficial for everyone. That's the goal. And that's what got me running, is the fact that I didn't see that in any politicians. So if I'm not seeing it from anybody else, I'm going to jump in and be the politician that I want to see. That's the goal. Hopefully, that's what you would like to see as well.
Tell them you're going to be coming to Newton County soon. We're going to set something up.
I will. Newton County, y'all holler. You seriously, you let me know before I leave. Before I leave, I want something on my calendar. We'll set it up. We'll find a date. Y'all just tell me when. I'll show up.
We just can't both.
So we'll get that one set up because
Well, yeah.
y'all, if you're not familiar with the 4th District, yes, it starts in Newton County. And it goes all the way over to Sebastian, just to the southern part. And catches part of Pulaski County. And is Jefferson County. And is Texarkana. And is all the way down to Ashley County in Hamburg.
What about Hot Springs? Are you there too?
It is a ridiculous district. And we have covered it from front to back, top to bottom, and we're going to keep doing it. Because we're not just showing up at these, we're in the process right now of setting up town halls. So, Newton County, I'm going to need y'all to let me know where the locations are so that we can get people, because we're not going to flip this around just by talking to the people who agree with us. We're going to have to get everybody in there. I want people that will come in with an argument, because we need to actually be able to have that and not fight. You have to be able to come in with a differing opinion without letting it turn into a fight, so that we can find mutual ground and actually move forward. So I invite that. I welcome it. I want it. That's what we need back in this country. We need to be able to engage in civil discourse. We've lost that, and we need to get it back. So I'm going to need y'all's help with that. And it's real simple. It's by letting other people know, and it's by sharing the contact information, and it's by spreading the word. And it's by sharing that phone number, because I'm not picky. All I ask is either leave a voicemail or text me first so I don't think you're a bill collector. Same as anyone else. So, barring that, all right, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much, and I'll be over there. Let's set something up.
Thank you. Like he says, the man promised me he'd show up. He showed up. He's out looking to work for the people, not some pact, not some corporation. He's out looking for the people. That's the candidates we brought today. That's your choices. The other party decided not to show up. They didn't even bother to tell me no. But look who showed up. So let's get in some good trouble and spread some word. Again, Miss Elizabeth has signs, yard signs if you want some. I believe Miss Green does.
I've got some.
Thank you all for showing up. We're going to go back to some music. Y'all can do some questioning and asking. Thank you.